U.S., you are walking into a really difficult situation next month. How would you describe the economy day one?
Well, look, we are in the middle of a historic and unprecedented economic crisis. And we're very heartened to see the bipartisan activity on the Hill. I think this election sent a clear message that the American people wanted to see action and wanted to see people work together. And this is a good step, an important down payment. But as you said, this is just a first step. And so I think we need to be prepared that the economy early next year is going to continue to be very challenged. And we're going to need to act quickly and decisively to address the health challenge and address our economic challenges, which are inextricably intertwined.
What's that going to look like? A lot didn't make its way into this bill through executive order or administrative action. What can Joe Biden do?
Well, look, the first thing is to have a comprehensive plan to take on this virus and get it under control, which means investing in vaccine distribution and the historic effort to not only distribute, but get it into the arms of Americans across the country. Testing, tracing, and getting our schools open, the commitment that the president-elect has made to have most of our schools open within 100 days. We're going to need resources, and we're going to need to work with Congress to get that done. We're also going to need to provide additional direct support to families and businesses that are going to continue to be struggling in this economy. And again, this investment here is an important down payment, but there's going to be more to do. With all due respect, if you're going to need Congress to get that support, you're not going to get it day one. So what are you going to do? Well, look, number one, we are seeing bipartisanship happening in Washington right now. A lot of people for a long time said that wasn't possible. The election sent a message. The president-elect is reinforcing that there is opportunity, and we're going to try to build on this model. That said, there are resources in this legislation, and there are a lot of things that need to happen day one to put a plan in place, and we're going to be ready to take those steps. But look, we're going to need to continue to work together. We're going to need to find ways to do that. And that's going to be high on our agenda. Will using the Defense Production Act be part of that? President Trump was very, very reluctant to use it. And that impacted our ability to get the vaccine, to get all that we needed for testing, to get ventilators. Look, I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves, but I will say that we will have a comprehensive plan, and we're going to look to marshal all of the tools of government and to work with the private sector to have a comprehensive plan on vaccine distribution and on the medical equipment necessary to address the immediate impacts of people getting sick, and also testing and tracing, particularly with a focus on schools. So in all of these cases, we're going to look to marshal the tools of government. And we are where we need partnership, where we need to work with Congress. We're going to try to build on some of this muscle memory we're seeing here to see if we can get work. Let's talk about what you personally are going to focus on, because President-elect Biden had said that one of his first orders of business was to roll back a portion of President Trump's corporate tax cut, saying he didn't need to go all the way down to 21%. Maybe we're going to make our way back up to like a 28%, which is not an extreme view. Gary Cohn, who had your position in the Trump administration, has actually said the same thing. Was that campaign talk? Are you actually going to work on that? Look, the president-elect on the campaign put forward a comprehensive economic plan. He talked about it as the Build Back Better plan, but it was really a basic idea of how do we invest in the drivers of economic growth, invest in the drivers of job creation, and do that in a way that actually creates more incentive to invest domestically in the United States. One of those elements is reforming the corporate tax code and undoing some of the senseless provisions that were in the 2017 tax cut. And that's a plan that I think has worn well with time and is going to be the starting point for how we operate going forward. But let's get out of 3,000 feet and comprehensive plans and come to my dinner table tonight, sitting across from my mother, who would say to you, we got two very distinct economies that existed before the pandemic, and now it's even worse. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. What are you in your job going to do to address that? Look, the K-shaped nature of this crisis is core to how we're going to think about addressing everything that we can do. And so what does that mean in very practical terms? It means we've got 10 million people who are still unemployed. 4 million of them have been unemployed, out of work for more than 6 months. So we're going to need to invest in ways that actually bring job creation back and help pull people who are having the hardest time and who have been out of the labor market for a long time back in. We're going to need to think about these things as intertwined. The care crisis, the lack of childcare, that's keeping people, particularly women, from being able to get into the workforce. There's scarring effects that could happen if that goes on too long. This crisis is particularly hitting people of color and hitting Black and brown businesses. We're going to need a strategy to directly go at that. And lastly, the impacts of climate change are inextricably linked with the impacts of this crisis. And so as we think about investing in job creation, we need to focus on those areas where we can build a clean energy economy, put people to work doing the things that our nation needs done. So this set of issues is going to be core to everything that we do. I wake up in the morning every day focused on coordinating an economic policy process that actually delivers for those Americans, like your mother, like others who are sitting across the kitchen table and are wondering, how am I going to get through the next month? How am I going to get through the next year? And is there a brighter future on the end of this?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.